Hey there, it's Jim and Debbie with another episode of the Midday Minute. Debbie, I'd say your hair is one of the breakout stars of this pandemic.
I was going to say your daughter Jane was one of the breakout stars of this pandemic. Looks like you got a hold of some clippers.
I did, and I gave myself a trim as if we would be staying at home for another 2 months.
Oh, gosh.
This is not ready for public consumption yet. It's everywhere. There's splotches and bald spots, but I feel cleaner.
All right, good. Well, it looks good.
Well, speaking of Jane, she and I released a new video yesterday for Giving Tuesday Now, which I will link to. Check it out. Hey, it's not too late to support if you would like to and help us keep the SIP rolling, which the SIP has been another one of the breakout stars of this pandemic, of course.
For sure.
Not everybody is in a position right now where they can support charities, and we get that. And
right.
That's completely okay, because there's another way that you can help us. And that's by sharing our content. These
right.
videos, the one I did with Jane, our stuff on Facebook, share that content with your networks. Maybe you can reach someone who is in a position to help and who we are not reaching in our network.
For sure.
So we've got a winner to announce for our comment contest, right?
We do. And our winner this week is one Michael Ryder. Congratulations, Michael.
Michael, congratulations. Why don't you tell us in the comments below how you would like us to apply that soft credit? Which ENF-funded program would you like to support? Or if you prefer, you can email us at enf@elks.org. And be sure to tell us what lodge you're from, Michael, as well. And thanks so much for watching. Now, Michael won that simply by commenting on last week's episode of the show. You'll have a chance to win a $50 soft credit for this week's show. Just by commenting on the episode, okay? Now, today's episode is all about what?
It's all about meeting the needs of veterans in need, actually.
And we are going to be joined right now by Mary Morgan, the director of the Elks National Service Commission and a former colleague of ours at the Elks National Foundation as well,
That's right. Through this, yep. She headed up the SIP for us for many years.
Yeah, she presided over the incredible growth of the community investments program.
That's right.
And there she is, Mary. We were just singing your praises.
We were. Hi, Mary.
Hello.
So welcome to the Midday Minute, Mary. You've been on the show before, right? Back when the old days in the office, right?
Yes, I was on the show in Debbie's office.
That's right.
Okay. All right. Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
How have things been going?
They're going okay. Yeah, we're able to. So luckily, a lot of our programs have online interfaces and things like that. So we're still able to connect with our volunteers, give them the resources and the updates they need to keep serving. And they've definitely still been doing that. So we're pretty lucky.
What kind of need are you seeing out there for the veterans community during this pandemic?
Well, there's a lot of needs out there, and it's been difficult for a lot of our volunteers because they're not able to do the things that they normally do, which is, cook meals for shelters in their community, visit with veterans in their veterans' homes. We've had lodges that had to cancel stand downs or put, veteran job training programs on hold. And we've had to work with our volunteers, and our volunteers have been sharing ideas with each other on creative ways to keep serving this population without doing what they normally are able to do.
Now, the VA has had to cancel some of its big events too, haven't they?
Absolutely, yes. So we normally have our leather program volunteers and quite a few Colorado Elks members who volunteer at the Adaptive Sports Clinic, the Winter Sports Clinic in Colorado. Additionally, the Veterans Golden Age Games and the Veterans Wheelchair Games have been canceled this year. So I know a lot of our Elks members in different communities were very excited about those events. And so we're working with them to reschedule and shuffle our support to next year or the year after, whenever it returns to those locations. But altogether, I think our volunteers have been really amazing in finding ways to reach that population anyway.
So you mentioned that a lot of lodges are having to cancel some of the events, like when they go out to a veteran's home and cook dinner or hold a barbecue, whatever. And in addition to the obvious meal that we're providing, Elks also provide like another valuable service there, and just human interaction and friendship to the veterans. And those veterans are sort of missing out on that contact right now, aren't they?
Absolutely. Yeah, our representatives have been reporting that. And I think for a lot of our representatives as well, they miss being able to chat with the veterans and connect with their friends who are in those facilities. But they've been able to adapt pretty well. I know that a lot of our volunteers are still sending the supplies that they normally would. So they'll buy the pizzas that they normally serve during a bingo game. They'll buy the prizes. And the staff has been hosting the event anyway and taking photos and videos and sending them back to the Elks members so they feel like they're there. And so that's been exciting. Some of our volunteers, one of our volunteers in Oregon wasn't able to visit her facility. And so she used her funds that she normally used to host activities to buy iPads for the veterans to share at the facility so they could speak with their family members, so she could connect with the veterans that she normally visits with. Because in addition to everything else going on, I think isolation is a big concern for a lot of these veterans who aren't able to even connect with a lot of the other veterans in the facility. They aren't able to visit with their families or talk to their friends or go to their monthly pizza party or movie night, or a lot of the things that our volunteers do on a regular basis to make sure that these veterans are living, healthy lives with human connection and community connection.
Now, Mary, a lot of our viewers are probably wondering like what they can do to help, and we would direct them towards a program that you really helped launch and get up and going into the juggernaut it is today, and that's through the SIP, right? And specifically through our gratitude grants, which have been available since April 1st. Now check these numbers out. Since April 1st, we have awarded more than 500 grants, more than 520 grants. Right. Now, Debbie, about how many are still out there on the table right now?
Well, the eligible are 1,627, so 1,100 are still available. We've got more than 100 that have already started, a couple that need some follow-up, but we want to get that money out. We want to get that money out to serving communities, right? The needs are plentiful and it's urgent. So let's get these applications in so we can approve them and get that money right out to communities.
Now, I was going to add that in each of the last 2 years, Debbie and Mary, around 400 lodges left their gratitude grants on the table. So, yeah. Speaking out to those lodges, and also the lodges wondering like what can they do now with the uncertainty of stay-at-home orders, how long those are going to be around, how long we're going to be fighting this pandemic, whether are they going to be able to do the things they're accustomed to doing in the near future? How can lodges use some of those gratitude grant dollars to help veterans right
now? Well, what we've seen and a lot of folks is obviously, I think a lot of lodges are seeing this, but food pantries are a big need for the community. And that includes, veterans coalitions. I know our Colorado Elks and Idaho Springs in particular are hosting a food drive in the community and bringing food baskets out to veterans in the community. But for an easier way to help, you could just call your local veterans facility, whether that's a shelter or a rehab clinic or a veterans home. And there could be very basic needs that they might need. I know that a lot of those veterans homes are in need of things like masks for the veterans to wear. And you could simply write a check to send to the state veterans home to have them buy masks for everybody on staff, whether that's the veterans or the staff members or any visitors that come in. I know the Joplin, Missouri Lodge is actually making masks. A lot of their members are very talented and are able to do that directly. And so they're providing that to the local veterans home. And then a lot of the things that Elks might normally host, you might be providing snacks and hygiene supplies, even books and games and, pizza on a Saturday night for residents of a veteran's home. Those are things that are really important. And even if it doesn't come with that regular connection, it will eventually when we're able to visit these facilities again. But in the meantime, just for a lot of these veterans, knowing that somebody is still there, is still thinking about them, still wants to make sure that they're, they have things to look forward to, that they're healthy, and that they know the community's there for them. Those are some pretty easy things that I think most lodges could do.
For sure.
Mary, what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to going to a concert again. Concert season in Chicago was really exciting. I had some tickets that I was that I'd already bought that I was waiting for. Some of them are rescheduling, some of them are issuing refunds. It's forced me to think about maybe learning how to play the guitar. I tried once, it didn't go well, but maybe it's time to try again.
Well, we'll have you on for a concert.
Yeah,
mini concert.
I remember when you used to play guitar when we would go caroling around headquarters when you were part of the ENF staff.
That's right.
Yes.
Was it ukulele? Was it your guitar? Didn't you play the ukulele as well?
I do not play the ukulele. No.
Okay. I could see you doing
I play the guitar, and I think play the guitar is a kind.
Uh-oh.
Frozen.
We might be losing Mary.
Right.
Oh, there she is.
Oh, we lost you there for a second.
Yeah.
But guitar lessons.
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Oh, there you're still there. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So Mary, before we let you go, you guys, your team's all working from home, right?
We are. We're all working from home, so we have a lot of conference calls, a lot of check-ins. Everyone's doing pretty well, although we do miss going to the office and working out problems together and sharing ideas. But we're doing our best to do that from different locations.
So if someone listening to the show was wondering what they can do to help or want some more additional ideas, what's the best way for them to get those ideas? Can they reach out to you guys?
Yes, they can reach out to us. They can call us at our regular phone number. They can email us like normal. We're able to answer all of that. We have written about 3 or 4 stories recently, and we've shared them on the website. They're on our social media. So there's some great ideas that we're taking from other lodges and some of our hospital representatives. If you're looking for ideas and ways to help, so you can go to elks.org/vets. We have a lot of information up there about how lodges can adjust and continue to help.
There's some great ideas, right? And you know what they say about imitation. So it's a good thing if you're a lodge out there that just doesn't know exactly where to start or what to do. Just reach out. We'll help.
Absolutely.
All right, Mary, any final shots for us? Mary, any final comments for us?
My final comments would be use your grants. The funds are there, so apply for your gratitude grants. And if you don't know how to help, I would just make a couple phone calls, connect with veterans in your community to guard against isolation, let people know you're thinking of them. And if you want to help veterans in facilities, just call the facility and say, what can I do? I'm sure they'll have a lot of ideas.
Sure.
All right, Mary. Well, thanks for taking time out to join us on the show. Our viewers always appreciate hearing from you.
Oh, she's back.
I'm back to say goodbye. Okay.
All right.
Bye.
All right.
Keep
Thanks,
strong,
Mary. Stay
Mary.
safe.
Bye.
Yep. Bye. So, all right, Mary Morgan.
Yeah, a lot of our middies know her, right, as best friend of the show.
Best friend of the show, the podcast. Maybe one day that'll come back, right?
Oh, yeah.
One thing we haven't been able to continue since all this started is we haven't figured out a new hookup for our podcast.
Right.
So, well, any final comments from you, Debbie?
No, I just want to say, that the needs are urgent and they're extensive, like I said, and there are more than 1,100 lodges that have yet to, maybe they're dealing with a lot of other things that they need to deal with. We get it. Everybody is dealing with this crisis in, one way or another, but the money is there for you. We've loosened the restrictions on donations, right? Though you always have been able to use a gratitude grant to donate, we're now saying, please donate versus can you do something more active? So just like I said, I just want people to know this is what Elks do, right? They meet needs in communities, and this is a crisis, and so many have risen to the occasion to help. But those 1,100 lodges that are out there that have yet to do that, please do. We're there. We want to make that. We want to make that happen for you. And then, of course, early on in this crisis, we talked about having the second round of grants available starting on June 1st. So we're really working through and talking about that now, and we hope to have some sort of announcement about what's going to happen on June 1st by May 15th, I'd say.
It's a big day, May 15th.
May 15th is a big day, yeah.
Yeah, so there's, you know, we get that this is a difficult time for everybody. It's a difficult time for Elks lodges. The timing could not have been worse with dues noticing hitting mailboxes at a time when lodges were shutting down, when people were losing their jobs, you know, and we get that. But crisis is also a time for Elkton to shine. That's always been the case.
Right.
And we're trying to get this grant money out there so that we can help you shine in your communities. That'll make your members feel good. It'll give them another reason to pay their membership dues. And more important than that, it'll help your friends and neighbors in your community. So use that money. I know many of you watching probably are thinking about the things you've always done with your grants, and you want to continue to do those things, and we understand that. But it's a time where we need to ask ourselves, is there something that we can do right now?
Right now.
They'll have a bigger impact than this thing that we always do in the fall, or that we always do around the holidays, or that we always do in the spring, right?
We can get back to that. We can get back to that, right?
We can bring that back next year. Right now, we are in a crisis, and we are trying to make this grant money available right now to help mitigate that crisis.
And more than $1 million has already gone out to lodge communities.
And yeah, there's more that's coming. We got more coming down the pike. So let's be thinking about what we can do right now together in your community to make things a little bit better.
Yeah.
All right. Any final words, Debbie?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I've got. Just, you know, as we say to everybody now, just stay safe and stay healthy and stay home.
And once again, everybody, you know, thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If not, thumbs down. Either way, feel free to share it. And be sure to comment below with the hashtag ENF Midday for your chance to win a $50 soft credit to the ENF funded program of your choice. Thank you.
Thank you. See you.